Well, good morning. It is exactly a year ago since we were in this campground last time, Troy Meadows Campground and Kennedy Meadows recreation area, and I'm just cruising back to my camp from Randall's camp. It's Friday morning, the 9th of September, and we pulled in yesterday in the afternoon and went for a ride. I'll show you some clips of that. I ate shit. We also saw a bear. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Was that his scat on the trail?
It looked old. I don't think it was a fresh one, but it was a bear scat. This is a little cubber.
There he goes.
And what was supposed to be like a little 2-hour venture turned into a 4-hour trip. And we are here with the awesome new bikes that we picked up for just this type of trip. So I've got the Husqvarna 2022 TE300i, and Randall will cover his bike. He's got the 22 KTM 300. He's done a lot of work to his, so we'll go over that and some of the stuff that I've done to my bike, but you can see a heck of a ride yesterday. Randall's done quite a bit to his, and it's again a 2022 XCW 300. And so who did your suspension? Because you had the suspension work done.
Yeah, Suspension 101 in San Diego.
And you said it made a pretty good improvement.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was good already, like we were talking about before. It was good, but you know, it's like 20-30% better.
Yeah.
I think like super plush over the small stuff. I was worried I was going to lose some of that plushness in the real technical stuff.
Yeah.
But still super plush, but then can just take a giant hit. You know, it feels almost like a trophy truck, the way it just like
just doesn't deflect. Yeah,
the big hits and stuff.
And then you had the head done.
Yeah, that's a TSP, two-stroke performance head, and then they reflash the ECU for you.
And you said it was kind of a minimal power gain, but noticeable still.
Yeah, I mean, it had great power before, but it's still like I was a little worried too that I might get too much hit for technical riding. But it's really not. It's still super controlled and smooth and linear.
Yeah.
And doesn't do anything surprising or, you know, unnecessary. Happy with that.
Other than that, you've got a rear brake mounted up here, which I
Recluse.
Been working good. You said you love that.
Love that. Super happy with that. Still have to remember that it's there after 50 years of riding without one.
And this is a super cool setup. I was admiring all this electronic gadgetry yesterday. So up front we've got the big fancy Trail Tech.
Yeah, the Voyager Pro Trail Tech, which I love for the data. So you have, you know, engine temp, ambient temp, you have tachometer, speedometer, you have elevation, you know, so much data from it. But the maps feature is very limited. I think if you're following a track, you can, you know, use it.
Yeah.
But as far as like looking at the map and saying, oh, I need to go that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a black line on a gray screen. Yeah. You know, it's not very descriptive.
So good data for the bike. Otherwise, it looks pretty.
Yeah.
So
I love this Garmin 276. You know, it's like a bike specific. It's not touch screen. It's all button operated.
Yeah.
And it has the California trail maps in it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty detailed. When we were navigating yesterday, it had most of the stuff. I was a little disappointed to miss some of the trails, but it was pretty good that way.
Yeah.
And then he still kept the stock unit on there, so I could see the hours for doing the oil changes.
It just turned out really slick and all just perfectly set up together, because it seems like a lot and they're big devices, but it's actually tucked in there really well.
It doesn't
out of the way.
Make the front end feel heavier or anything like that.
And then you did moose.
Yeah, I did moose's front and rear, and
you said they're the soft.
Yeah, the 6 to 8 pound plushies they call them.
I really want to do that.
Yeah,
that's got to be great.
It's a little bit of a different feel at first, but just the not having to think about air pressure.
Yeah,
you know, like before you ride, oh, let me check.
Like me this morning pushing on my tires. Yeah, right? I guess I shouldn't lower it anymore. And then you just put a brand new tire on the back of it.
Yeah, so that's the same golden tire that I had before, and I love it. I wore that first one down to the nub, so
I do want to do this tire too.
Yeah,
I hear such great things.
Really a good tire. I mean, it didn't last a long time, but most of my riding is rocky, you know, harsh surfaces, so I think it did well enough.
You also have the fan.
Yeah, that's the KTM one, but it doesn't have the thermometer on it.
Right.
But I've got that through the Trail Tech, so I kind of see when it's kicking on and that sort of thing.
And then did
Still
you
bearing
do
some of our
some
trail
stuff from yesterday?
right.
Through a just a rock guard, aluminum rock guard on there.
Yeah, and it's pretty beat up. It's taken a lot of hits. I didn't have it on there at first and got a couple of dings in the pipe, and I just took it from my 17.
And you also did the Acerbi same guard
Yeah,
I have.
yeah, and the
I like it
Polysport.
too.
Yeah, I
And
do
the
too.
Polysport, yep.
Those
That's
are
right.
all
I forgot I did that as well.
really good.
Changed the front just to a white fender.
Yeah,
Looks good. I like it.
I want like some orange and blue stickers for it.
All right, for the Husky, I haven't done a lot of stuff to it, just some basic things. We'll quickly cover it. If you guys missed the other video, I got a Seat Concepts tall seat on there. Very, very comfortable. Happy with it. I've got the FMF Titanium 2.1 exhaust. I got a Fishmoto spark arrestor in there. Other than that, just some protective stuff, swing arm guards. Acerbi's, just their plastic skid plate. Took a lot of heavy hits yesterday, so it's doing good. The Trail Tech fan. I did bar risers. We talked about that before. I really needed them. So these moved them forward an inch and up an inch. And standing's perfect now. We've got bulletproof designs. Let's see if it'll focus on the light there. Bulletproof designs. They're aluminum radiator guards. I just put some fork boots on it and wraparound hand guards. And then I threw a little quad lock phone mount on there for my phone. And I think that's it. Oh, aside from the two more things, rear disc guard. As you can see, it's already coming in handy. And just another fairly inexpensive Acerbi's plastic front disc guard. I usually never seem to hit that on anything, so I didn't go all out on it like I did for the Beta. But the rear one for sure gets used quite a bit. In the little TPI Tusk aluminum guard right there. But that's it, nothing crazy. Really comfortable suspension stock. And yeah, loving this bike. Night and day difference from riding the Beta on these kind of trails.
So this is the start of a Jackass trail. I just let him go. He's probably already way gone, but at least I won't have any dust.
today.
Yep.
Like I said yesterday, we went on a 4-hour ride, nearly 4-hour ride. Really awesome. And today we did the Jackass Trail out to Jackass Peak Trail, connected to, God, I'm forgetting the name of it now, but we looped back and ended up having to take Jackass Trail back home.
Right.
Kind of unexpectedly, but we got to switch bikes, as you guys saw. Thank you, the whole audience thanks you for the fact of wearing the camera today, because we actually got solid entertainment.
It's not, well, yeah.
Somebody who
wondering when he's going to screw up again.
You guys got to see the experience versus inexperience all in one day, and that just goes to show you what you can become if you keep practicing.
Yeah, right. Much better than that.
But we got to switch bikes. So
cool.
What were your impressions of this bike comparatively?
It's like I was saying.
Did it feel much different?
No, not a lot different. It felt naturally, or very quickly natural to ride.
Yeah.
You know, that it was just very easy to go from that bike to this. They've got subtle differences because of the suspension work and the head work, ECU, whatever, but it's subtle. It's not like, wow, there's this huge difference, you know, of how they ride or what they do. You know, you feel the quality in both of them. They're just solid, great handling, great power. You know, they just are really, really good dirt bikes.
Yeah, you can throw a leg over it, and like you said, instantly it just feels familiar.
Yeah, totally.
So, like, like you know what's going to happen. It's predictable.
Yeah.
kind
And
of thing.
as I said, you know, the seat is a game changer.
Yeah.
Immediately I sat on that seat and it's like, why was I so stupid to think that I could keep the stock
I had
seat?
asked him earlier if he was gonna change the seat or no. If I said, do you think it's pretty comfortable? Yeah, it's pretty comfortable. But when I sat on it, it feels dang firm. It's not uncomfortable, but
No.
it's not very plush.
No, nothing like that seat is just like,
Oh, it's like a
giant.
third shock.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Very comfortable. So
But-
I'll be ordering one soon.
And that's like for me for the suspension. It's only having ridden this, the suspension feels fantastic right out of the box. And I was just saying how plush it is and this and that. And I couldn't get over yesterday how he was able to plow through. I mean, those whoops, if you guys don't know, they're mostly 3 foot deep, I would
Right.
say.
Yeah.
And he is just plowing through them. And I felt like I was springboarding off of them and kind of into the face of the next one. And being on your bike today, the suspension work, you said it was 25% better in your opinion. And I'd agree with that because that 25% to me just felt super planted.
Yeah.
Never come off the ground like unexpectedly.
Right.
Not springy. And you could just bomb through those things, and for some reason it just felt like it was keeping the tires on the ground the whole way through.
Yeah.
And that was pretty neat.
Yeah. I guess I'm glad I did it. You know, it wasn't, you know, the just game changer or anything like that, but
Just makes it that much better.
yeah. I mean, I was hesitant at first because I was enjoying it so much the way it was, just bone stock.
Yeah.
I was having a great time with it, but then it's like you're always thinking, could it be better?
Yeah.
You know?
The mapping felt very different to bike to me.
Yeah.
With the engine. And what's interesting is almost the gear. Are you running a different sprocket on the back or
No.
just stock?
Yeah, it's stock.
Did second gear for you and mine feel different? Like yours felt like it, like the RPMs were lower at the same speed
Yeah.
than on my bike.
Like
It
it
almost
was
felt
geared a little
geared a
higher.
little bit differently. I don't
Yeah.
know if they are or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I felt like I could run third gear in yours comfortably like I did in
Yeah.
this one. And then we were talking about, it's just so cool how you can lug them down
Yeah.
so low. You can just be lazy. You know, you can short shift them. You can just do
Yeah.
all kinds of just poor riding
Yeah.
habits, and they don't care.
Yeah.
You know, they just take it. And you know, we're up here almost 8,000 feet elevation, perfectly, you know,
Mapped
mapped,
just,
and yeah, the
like you
fueling
said, not
and
fidgeting
everything.
with jets.
Yeah, and there's no bogging or stalling or, you know, any kind of you know, problem with that. So
I mean,
the
not
fueling-
not mixing gas.
yeah.
And having the oil injection, and then like you said, between that being up here and not fidgeting, and it running just like we're at sea level is pretty
Yeah.
damn neat.
Yeah, it really is. You know, after riding your bike, I was like, oh, you know, maybe I should have gotten the Husky instead. But they're both great. You
Yeah.
know, they're just little subtle differences. But you know, the Husky does give you nicer rims. You can tell the triple clamp is a higher spec.
Yeah.
You know, just has some nicer things, and they sure didn't cut me a deal on the KTM. So you just had to want it. You know.
So it's funny because a year ago we were here with the betas, and I think you guys have kind of heard me complain a lot about how much better this is versus the beta, but that's not really fair because they're two totally different bikes.
Right.
One, they're not both 2 strokes, it's not a 300. We're comparing a big 500 4-stroke to a
Right.
300.
Yeah.
And I think the notable, we talked a little bit, and the noticeable things between the bikes, you know, the beta's a beautiful bike, the motor's super strong, super impressive, but there is quality differences in the manufacturing, what they use, the parts and
Yeah.
pieces.
Right.
And you see where you saved that, you know, 1,500 or 2,000 on MSRP between the two bikes. They're both great, but the betas just got a couple of cheaper components, and the suspension for me is the biggest complaint I have about it. On the KTM and Husky, the suspension out of the box is like, you don't have to mess with it.
No, you really don't.
And with the beta, I feel like it needs some tuning to be more suited for you as an individual.
Right. You know, I rode Cade's race version or whatever, and has the KYB front fork
Yeah,
on it, and it was nice. You could tell a noticeable difference.
it feel pretty similar to like the
It was on
plushness of it.
sand, so it was hard to compare
Yeah.
completely, but it just felt planted and very, you know, controlled, plush, but still, you know, sitting up in the stroke, so you didn't feel like you were just bottoming it out all
Yeah.
the time. So, you know, maybe the Sachs is not the
Not the
best.
Not the best, yeah.
Yeah.
But that stuff can be remedied. I mean, I just think this bike, even if I only ride single track twice a year, is worth owning because it's just so damn enjoyable.
Yeah.
They're just so good now. You couldn't go wrong buying either of these two and just coming out and feeling like, again, if you're coming from a mountain bike background or you like that light feel and being able to flick a bike around and just not work hard at it, they're both incredible.
Yeah, that's what I've said all along about riding this on the trails. It's like the ultimate cheat bike.
Yeah.
You know, it just makes it so easy. It is light, but the power is great. It's not the old two-stroke hit that, you know, is uncontrollable, super linear.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes when you twist the throttle, it
Yeah.
takes off, but it doesn't do anything surprising or unexpected that, you know, would make you feel out of control.
If you guys have specific questions about something that you'd like to just know more about, you can leave it in the comments, and Randall's happy to answer stuff if it's about his bike, and I'll try to do the same. But otherwise, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I think it turned out it was a great day.
Yeah, it totally was. Glad we finally got back up here together.
Yeah.
Even if it was a year.
Yeah, a year later, boy, that
Yeah.
went fast. We're
Right.
both a year older.
Yeah.
But thank you guys as always for your support on the channel. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And thank you for the likes and comments. We appreciate it. If you weren't doing all that stuff, we wouldn't be doing this. So thank you as always, and we'll see you tomorrow in the rain. Bye.